Okay, I think we're maybe just a minute early, but I think we're okay. Let's call this meeting to order. This is I'm Todd Byruther. This is the Legislative Committee for the Washington State Building Code Council on February 5th, 2021. Let's open with a roll call, please.
Todd?
Here.
Dick? He sent an email this morning. He had some conflict, so he won't be here. Diane?
Here.
Andrew?
I'm here.
I think I saw him.
Yeah, I'm here. Did you not hear me? This is Andrew.
Jill? No. Phil? Okay. Well, we have.
Stoyan, this is Andrew. I'm just making sure you can hear me.
Yes, I did.
We can't see you
Okay.
though.
Oh, yeah. I don't have my.
That's a requirement in this committee. There's Chell. We'll give him a minute to.
Hey, Todd. Morning.
Good morning. We were just taking rolls, so
Oh, okay.
that's a here.
Here.
Okay.
Chell.
Okay. Good morning, Joe. So we have a quorum.
Oh, good. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. We'll open with anyone from the. We don't have any new members, so anyone from the public like to be recognized in this meeting? Okay, hearing none, we will move into. We do have the ability to review and approve the agenda. Can I hear a motion to approve this agenda, please?
Motion. So moved.
Second.
This is Andrew, second.
Okay, 2 seconds. Great. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed, nay? Abstentions? So approved. Item 3, we'll review and approve the minutes from January 29th. Can we hear a motion for that, please, to approve that?
So moved.
Thank you, Andrew.
Second.
Second by Diane. Any discussion on the minutes? Edits, comments? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed, nay? Abstentions? So approved. Okay, moving straight into the legislative update. Ms. Doyen, please.
Okay, and I want to start with something else, just a minute or two. Okay, so the last week there were some comments about what the committee can do and cannot, and I wasn't clear on the subject either. So I took this from the bylaws, and I didn't send it to you because it's a public document. It's posted on our website, but items 3, 4, and 5 identify what the committee can do. And I wanted to share this for the public, but I don't see very many people attending. So just for your information. When we, so the council meeting is on 19th. Our last meeting, the Ledge Committee before the council is next week. So I will have the ledge log with all updated information available for the council for February 19. But if you want specific bills to be added to the agenda, specifically identified, we can do this. We can specify the bills next week, if it's okay with you. The other option is I will have everything available for the council members, and we can go over the bills, and whatever bill is interested for discussion, challenging, I would say, and deserves a discussion. It's up to you if you want to discuss it or not.
Stoyan and the rest of the committee, is there any need to touch base perhaps on the 18th, on Thursday, the day before the 19th? I guess we really don't know. It's pretty far out, but it's a possibility, right?
Yes. We can touch bases a day before, yes.
What do you mean touch base?
Well,
Go ahead.
yes, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, I more formally, yes. Thank you, Dan. Keep the option open for a potential legislative committee meeting the day before our 10 o'clock meeting, I assume, on the 19th. I'm not sure if there's a need. I just wanted to raise the.
Yeah, well, we'd have to schedule it for, because it has to be a public meeting, so we'd have to have the proper notice and the whole bit.
Right.
And there won't be very many new bills at that time.
Yep, fair point. Thank you.
Okay, Krista, can you hold the lock, please? I guess Krista has. Krista? Okay, thank you. I will start with HB 1084. It's not new. We already went and discussed it, but what I want to point out is that there will be executive session in the House committee. Here you see the dates 9th, 11th, and 12th. And I was just told about 30 minutes ago that the meeting will be on 12th. So just for information, if somebody wants to attend, we will follow the bill and some of us will be listening. Krista, can you go down, please? Okay, I have only 3 bills for this week, but they are somehow interesting. HB 1287. How the bill is titled is Preparedness for Zero Emission Transportation Future. So what we are currently working on is modifications to the building code related to electric vehicle charging. And what this bill, and so our CR 102 was filed on January 19th. And the approaching adoption date is your meeting, the council meeting in May. And what this bill does, it adds new requirements. It compares to 2019, which is what we're working on right now for residential and commercial buildings. And it requires the council to adopt measures that exceed and are necessary to support anticipated levels. The problem with this language is that it's not really clear what exactly the council needs to do. So the effective date, July 1st, 2024, allows for work and allows this to be done during the regular code adoption cycle. But as a personal opinion, if there is not clear language what exactly the council needs to do, it may create some issues with stakeholders. And the information I shared here in the log, again, there is not extra work for the building council, but the bill is really open and it doesn't specify the requirements that the council need to adopt. We got some feedback from cities and counties that they already have requirements that exceed the requirements we're proposing in the building code related to electric vehicles. But we don't have information throughout the state if these modifications will be accepted or not. Comments on those? No? Okay. The next one is SB 5366. It's not a new bill. It's a companion bill for 1103, HB 1103. And this is related to the building materials, requires the building materials used for government funded projects be rated for environmental and environmental cost. And the initial analysis, I had it with no impact on stakeholders, and after you discussed it, I changed it to major impact on stakeholders, although it's not related to the State Building Code Council. Again, and this bill reads the same as HB 1103 at this moment. The next one is HB 1184. So this is the second turnaround. It was amended. And the addition to the bill is not related to the State Building Code Council. It adds some incentives to homeowners. We have a fiscal impact because this bill requires, the original bill requires the Department of Health to consult and coordinate with the State Building Code Council when develops the rules for on-site non-potable water systems, but it's really unclear at this time how the Department of Health is planning to coordinate and consult with the Building Code Council. And I mentioned this before, the effective date, July 1st, 2022 is unrealistic. So if the date stays the same, it will be extra work and impact on the Building Code Council. And there is another issue with the cross connection, the cross contamination. It's been an issue for years. So we will keep following the bill. But again, the modification doesn't change anything to our initial analysis.
Stoyan,
Yes.
question. Do the bill's proponents or sponsors reach out to you or others, or are we providing this kind of feedback to the bill's proponents so that it can be modified such that it'd be easier or more realistic?
The analysis was provided through DES, and we coordinated, Richard and I coordinated with the higher management, and they are aware of the issue. And we also proposed, as part of the analysis, we proposed modifications to the bill, but at this time, nothing was changed.
Can I add something to that, Stoyan? Sheldon might help answer your question. During the last code cycle with the UPC, we deleted, I forget if this is chapter 15 or 16, but we had deleted all state amendments out of chapter 15 and 16 and put, they must follow the regulations of the Department of Health. So we're kind of already covered in this House bill with that new amendment that we put in on the last code cycle. They just went in effect. Okay.
Okay, so we've provided the comments, and we think they might modify the bill, or we've given them the comments at least, so they could modify the bill to be more realistic.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The next one is HB 1337. So this is one that didn't go through DES. Somebody emailed or called Krista. Krista, can you help me with the name?
Yeah, this came from Angie Hamola, who used to be the chair of the council. And she had some concerns on how this would impact local jurisdictions and possibly the council on it prevents local jurisdictions from requiring specific setbacks for ADUs.
So the council is not specifically stated there, and it's not really something that the council can do at this time. What this bill is about is that it specifies cities and counties, and I'll read it because it was a long bill. Cities and counties may qualify for a distribution from the accessory dwelling unit incentive account of an amount equivalent to the state's portion of the sales tax generated by the qualifying new construction. So this is what the bill is around. And the specification is that to qualify for the money, cities and counties must adopt several policies stated in the bill. There are more than 20 different requirements. And I want to outline only 4. So the first one is allow ADUs to encroach on setbacks if the other property owner approves and the fire code does not prohibit the encroachment. So I felt, and I didn't discuss this with the team, it came at the last moment, but and it's not something the building code council can do, in my personal opinion, but it may create issues with neighbors. The language is not good. And the second bullet point I have here is may not establish roof height limits, setback requirements, or requirements for design review for ADUs that are more restrictive than those for principal units. So again, it wasn't clear to me if the principal unit is the unit that will be built at the same time, or the principal unit is a unit that is already built, let's say, under 1950s building codes. And this text here may create issues. We may end up allowing cities and counties actually allowing ADUs to be built under outdated codes. And the last one I have here is must allow detached ADUs to be sited at the lot line if the lot line abuts a public alley that is not plowed for snow by the city or county. That one seems to me that may violate some requirements in the fire code. And the last one must allow accessory dwelling units to be converted from existing structures, such as detached garages, even if they violate current code requirements for setbacks or lot coverage. Again, these 4 bullet points I have here, these are related to the building codes. There will be executive session on February 12th, and I'm planning to listen. And it appears that it doesn't have this bill doesn't have direct impact on the code council, but regarding the stakeholders, it may or it may not. So I put it uncertain just for discussion purposes.
Hey, Stoyan,
Yes.
I'd like to make just a general comment and appreciate, watching these bills closely with all of the action. We've talked a little bit on this committee of, the crossover between planning activities and obviously, code, and health and well-being or life safety issues. We're finding in the implementation on the planning level in Spokane in particular, there is quite a bit of integration and crossover that was just wasn't addressed especially with the fire officials as we start to get into these more dense missing middle ADUs or cottage housing. So I do appreciate that we at least follow and talk about this on this committee. So thank you. Specifically issues of shared meters, shared connections, so forth, access. It really is. It really,
This bill specifically was with it 8-9 pages, and most of it different requirements for the cities and counties. If they want to get the money, this is what they need to do, which included whatever you just said.
yep, thank you.
And this is what it was. Lazy week, not very many bills.
Lazy week.
Stoyan, maybe before we go in, kind of review some of the other ones, there's one bill that I'd like to propose, just taking a light look at. They did not take executive action today in the House Environment and Energy Committee. It is Bill 1114. And I find this interesting. It's targeting utilities and energy efficiency programs. I can't see anything in it that would directly affect actual energy code, but it is discussing programs and cost effectiveness for utilities related to, strategies such as natural vegetation and cool roofs, so forth. Those kind of that are always hard to measure, and it has always been puzzling on how those might interact with the energy code in the future, but just one to flag perhaps.
I don't have this bill on my list, but I can review it, and I can have something for next week.
And it very well might be that it's not appropriate to include here, but I just want to propose it, please. Thank you.
This is all I have. If you have questions for some of the old bills, I'm trying to update the log and keep you updated with the approaching hearings and executive sessions. So the log is up to date.
Does anyone else in the committee have any questions or would like to, touch on any of the other bills? Mike, I could have a quick question on 1084. Do we anticipate, since they pushed until the 12th, do we anticipate major amendments and a substitute bill? Is that why they've pushed so long?
I was in a meeting today with DES, and DES is also following very closely 1084. I don't know the details why it was pushed to 12. I don't know. It just I thought it will be a 9th, and I learned again 30 minutes before this meeting. DES, the folks that are covering the session, they were expecting changes to the bill.
Can I ask what happened to 5280?
Let me find it.
Bottom of page 3.
It doesn't have any hearings. It doesn't have any movements. We don't know what's happening.
Okay.
And then the other one I'm curious about, I haven't been following, is on 1150, on including the legislative members on our council as voting members. Sorry. I assume nothing's happened since we last met.
Nothing happened. Yes, it doesn't have anything scheduled. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. And if these bills don't pass out of committee soon, then they're dead for the year, right?
The cutoff date, I think, was 15, but Krista will correct me if I'm not correct. Was it 15?
I need to check a second.
So this list will basically get a lot shorter or may get a lot shorter in 2 weeks from now.
Yes.
But the bills automatically come back next year, correct?
There's Phil. Are you serious or were you being facetious?
I missed the previous comment. I couldn't hear it.
Phil, what did you
Oh,
say?
I said the bills automatically come, those that supposedly die on the 15th, they automatically come back next year now, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So Krista is showing the first cutoff date, which is again February 15. I wasn't sure 15th or 25th, but it's February 15.
So what you're saying is if it doesn't come out of committee, then it's dead by the 15th?
I'm not sure.
It can still come back, but the odds are not good.
Okay, thank you.
The expectations, at least what I've heard this morning, the expectations were that if they don't pass February 15th, most likely we won't see them again. But I'm just passing the information. I didn't research it.
Yeah, I think if they're part of the budget,
Yeah.
then they can come back, or they will, there's a different date for that.
Okay. Okay, any other discussion or questions related to the report? If not, thank you, Stoyan.
Sorry about being late. Sorry about being late. I couldn't get in.
You're always welcome. Good to see you, Phil. Okay, then closing legislative update. Any other business?
Hey, Todd, I guess I have a question.
Please.
So we have this discussion on Fridays about these bills, and on a majority of cases, and almost every case, we monitor them or we are neutral on them. We don't take a position. But our discussion goes through Stoyan and others to the sponsors of the bill potentially. I guess is that the general flow of information, Stoyan? And then, I guess, how do we know, or how are we aware of what comments you've made on behalf of the Building Code Council to the sponsors? I guess I'd like to know just a little bit more about that.
What I do is I do analysis for DES, and I get the bills that need analysis, and I do analysis for the Building Code Council, and keep in mind that sometimes the position is different. For example, the energy bill, DES supports the bill, and there are issues with the effective dates and some new requirements on the State Building Council side, which is little conflicting. So what I do is I can provide recommendation for code modifications, and it goes through DES. I'm not sure how the State Building Code Council can propose something. I try to evaluate the State Building Code Council's position, and this is what I suggest as part of the DES analysis. But this is where my knowledge ends. I can follow the bills, I can follow the hearings, and I do talk to our ledge folks, and this is what I can do on my side.
Okay, I appreciate it. I just want to make sure that our like technical suggestions to make bills more feasible are passed on adequately, and so that when we get a bill that passes the legislature, it's not, asking us to do something impossible or near impossible. So I appreciate you passing on those comments to the legislators and the sponsors. And I guess, is there anything impeding your ability to pass those on to the legislators? Do we need to take action in any way to help pass these kind of technical and feasibility comments on to legislators?
So I'll answer that. We gave, last year, the council gave Richard the ability and the chair the ability to do that. And we hadn't done that this year, which we should do at this next council meeting. In case there's something at the tail end, we should have done it last month probably, and give Stoyan the ability to make those comments and give our opinion. So we'll take that up just in case there is something that, he can provide feedback, but as far as, our position, we do need to give him permission to be able to do that.
Okay, that's great. That kind of answers my question of, yeah, so we need to take action in order to allow him to provide the building code's technical feedback to bill primes and et cetera. Okay.
Right, and actually provide testimony, basically.
As a position and the analysis, I always say neutral because this is what I was directed, advised by Richard. And even though sometimes I propose amendments or the bill is really affecting the council business, I keep with neutral.
Yeah, that's great. Yep, we stay neutral, but we can provide some technical feedback. We want to be able to provide some technical feedback on the feasibility or whatever of the bills. I think that's great.
The other difference, I can't remember. I think I mentioned it 2 meetings ago, but this last column, impact on stakeholders. Very often, when we say impact on stakeholders, it doesn't necessarily mean fiscal impact on stakeholders. For purposes of DES analysis, most of these bills, they don't have impact on stakeholders. But for the Building Code Council, it does. For example, if there is a bill that directs the local jurisdictions, the building departments or cities and counties in general to do something, and it may be related to the building codes, well, we refer to the local counties and cities regarding enforcement. So it impacts the stakeholders, but there is not something that the Building Code Council can do.
Understood. Thank you. I understand way more than I did before this conversation. So thanks, Stoyan and Diane.
Agreed. I think it's good to continuously have that conversation. So, okay. Any other business then? Okay. If not, then it sounds like we have one more meeting before our full council meeting on the 19th. So on next Friday. I guess with that, we can adjourn, right?
Everyone have a safe week.
Thank
Wear
you.
your mask.
Yep.
Yeah.
Good to see you all.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
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 Bye.